intentional. I am 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 the sun. I am original. I am the one.
And since it's Gemini season, it is my favorite artist's birthday season, Kanye West. I love Kanye West. So in commemoration of Kanye West, we will be having Yeezy instrumentals playing in the background this whole time. Yeezy season. I'm excited about this. So I just want to go over with y'all what Gemini season is all about, and then we're gonna jump into the planetary forecast and talk about what the planets are doing, what they're up to, and stuff like that. So if y'all can't hear me, please comment below. Let me know if I'm too low, if music's too high, if whatever. Just let me know. But I want to start off talking with you guys. So we know it's the year of the metal rat, right? And that is like exciting in itself, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm gonna read the excerpts. Like, I read a bunch of books. I like to cross-reference. I don't just take like one reference. I have like multiple ones that I've been reading, and it's like years worth of research. So like this year is the year of the metal rat, and I'm just gonna read over my notes. Wow. I'm just gonna read over my notes. Sorry, just a message just popped up on my screen. So the year of the metal rat started January 25th. And it's going on until February 11th, 2021. The last time we had the metal rat year was in 1960. This is the year of new beginnings and renewals, so that's exciting. The rat is the first of all zodiacs. According to the myth, the Jade Emperor said the order would be decided according to which order each animal arrived to a party. The rat tricked the ox into giving him a ride and jumped in front of the ox once they got to the party to be first. It's just also associated with midnight hours of 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. The earthly branch on the Chinese, the four Chinese elements was the sheep. It is also associated with the yang, which represents the beginning of a new day. And this is the white swirl when you're looking at, are you waiting on my podcast? A lot of people keep bringing the podcast to me, and I don't know, we'll see. I keep attracting it. The yang represents the white swirl, which is brightness, passion, and growth. This is a sign of wealth and abundance. People pray to the rat for children, of course, because if rats don't do anything else, they know how to reproduce in abundance. So rat is definitely a symbolism of abundance. Rats are clever, quick-witted, and successful, but content with quiet and peaceful lives. They are sensitive to emotions, but stubborn with opinion. They are kind, but their poor communication skills make them appear rude and impolite. They may either be cheap or so used to hoarding, they may indulge in wasteful spending. Men who are in the rat zodiac, they're creative and clever and have great ideas, but they lack courage and leadership skills. Women that fall under the rat Chinese zodiac are traditional, organized, responsible, family oriented, and they both enjoy lavish things and constant social outings. They don't do well with restrictions and routines. That makes sense. The year of the rat brings opportunities, achievements, success, and abundance to all signs. So no matter what your Chinese zodiac is, because we are currently in the year of the rat, these things do apply to you. So don't say, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like, I'm a horse. I'm not a rat. I'm a horse. And me and rats, we actually don't get along because horses are so like free and we like to like just be everywhere. And rats, like, said before, they're more like, structured, family oriented, blah, blah, blah. But there's abundance in order for all signs, and this is really exciting. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this reading, y'all. Hold on. So be sure that goals are carefully planned. The metal element brings water, which means productivity and activity for industries. Now, this is what I read, and I see a whole bunch of y'all getting into stocks and bonds, and awesome. Keep doing that. If you need help on how to start up and you want information on how to start up, I'm giving people 101s in forex trading and also stocks and bonds. Like, I do both, and I've been doing the forex trading for a little while, but I'm comfortable enough to give you guys a 101. And I've been doing stocks and ETFs and bonds for years now, so like I definitely can give y'all some tips on that. But okay, so get into this part. So this is a good time to invest in car industries, IT industries, tech, health, and cosmetic productions. How fitting is that? Like, how fitting is that? Right now, this is definitely a good time to invest in like Gilead, Moderna Sciences, a lot of like the healthcare businesses out here that are creating vaccines and testing kits and the PPE and things like that. You definitely want to invest in those companies right now because they are making money. And if you missed that wave, I know I missed the wave with the mask. I couldn't find out what company it was that was making these so I can invest in them before it went where whatever it's going to go. But like, yeah. So that's it for the year of the rat. We're gonna move on from that. I touch all the belief systems. It's not just African centered. Because I read Matthew Netter, it kind of opened up my eyes. Well, I always felt this way. Like I was blessed to go to college, and when I went to college, everybody I was roommates with, we were all of a different religious background or faith or belief or whatever, and that kind of helped open my eyes and keep me open-minded to all practices. And I think all of our practices are interdependent, interconnected, and reflections of one another. It's definitely something that we all bring to the table. So I try to touch a little bit of every culture as I learn and study in these readings so everyone can feel included. And that's what Less Nobodies is about, right? The bringing awareness to the interconnectedness and the interdependence of all of us as individuals, as families, as cultures, as tribes. We all bring something to the table, okay? So that's what I have for Chinese zodiac. Moving that on the side. Now we're gonna get into the Kabbalah, and I love the Kabbalah. It's so beautiful. It's like it's poetry, and I love poetry. I've been writing poems since I could write. So Gemini is Savan in regards to the Kabbalah. This is the third month of the Hebrew year. They go by the lunar year, whereas we do solar. I think that's what's considered as. And it is the central column of the air signs. The controlling planet is Mercury. Woo-woo. I'm a Virgo, so I'm ruled by Mercury too. In Hebrew, Kachav. And Kachav's numerical value is Kaf Vav, which is 26. So 26 is the number during this time. And Kaf Bet, which is 22. Together creating the most powerful and energetic combination. Mercury is the planet of communication, which means it has the qualifications of an electrical cable, telephone wire, a teacher, an advisor, a storyteller, basically anything that can transfer any information from point A to point B, which I see a lot of us are investing our time and energy on this platform. I actually I restarted my Plenty of Fish page because I'm bored. But they have like a live platform now. So the first time I went live on Plenty of Fish, I was talking about Forex trading. And I got a few people interested, I guess more so to flirt with me, or I don't know. But anyway, so like a lot of communication is going on during this time. A lot of teaching is going on. I see a lot of people broadening their horizons on what they're learning, and they're not being stingy with what they learn, which is so exciting. And like, thank you guys out there who are taking that step to be a teacher, because it takes a lot. Because with just as many people you have following you and listening to you, you have just as many people telling you that what you're saying is bullshit. So like, it takes a lot to be a teacher and to go out on a platform like this and teach and talk about what you want to talk about, because there's always going to be those people that want to be the loudest, that are really, really rude and ignorant. But anyway, moving on. So, many secrets were revealed in the cosmos during the month of Sivan. Sivan is known as the month of Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah. The 6th day of the month, the holiday is Shavuot, is a cosmic day on which we finish the counting of the Umer. When the awesome light of freedom was revealed, this light was given to us with no effort on our side. That is why we count the Omer, to build vessels through correcting our actions that cause the light to be concealed. That's good. An awesome amount of light is revealed on the 50th day, as it is the anniversary of when people of the world will receive the Torah. When death was swallowed up forever, which resulted in immorality, the very same energy of immorality is revealed on the day of Shavuot. The Ari says that whoever remains awake on the Shavuot, engaging on the Zohar study, is promised to be in total protection and safety until Rosh Hashanah. Geminis are intellectuals who have desire to know everything and an unlimited curiosity to collect information of every kind. This is because knowledge is power, and the more information gathered today will make future choices easier to make. The Geminis needed to collect information enables them to choose what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. This explains Gemini's tendency to jump from one subject to another, which is why, of course, they have many questions, doubts, and uncertainties. The end result is their reluctance to to enter any sort of commitment. So if anybody knows Geminis, you know they're kind of all over the place with everything. They don't really make decisions too well. They're never really like rooted. They're always anywhere. But that's a positive, right? Because you can see things from different points of view. You're very adaptable. Definitely good to be a medium in a room of people debating and things like that, because you know they can talk through you. Mercury, y'all, we the mediums out here. But yeah, the solution for this personal obstacle is to find a teacher, someone that is able to give satisfactory answers to all questions. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, in the Kabbalah, how they do zodiacs, it's like you're okay. So I'm a Virgo. I have certain traits about myself, but the traits that I have, and not even just like where my sun sign is in Virgo, all of my planets and on my natal chart, they're in that area for you to work on those things. These are things that you're supposed to be working on. You're learning to grow from, or learning how to like massage, if you will, so that it's not a negative trait or taking over your life. Like in the DSM, we utilize the term if it's getting in the way of your everyday living. You know what I mean? So the Kabbalah tells you about your zodiac and your astrology in order to tell you, hey, you need to work on this. Not, oh, this is who I am, this is how I am, celebrate me. Like it's for you to work on it and be aware of it. So that's why this next paragraph is like telling you like, the solution for this obstacle of being all over the place and not being able to make decisions and all this stuff is to find a teacher, someone who's able to give satisfactory answers to all your questions. This will enable the Gemini to focus on one way, one God, which gives them a better chance to reach certainty. There is no greater teacher than a Gemini with a firm sense of certainty. As a communication sign, Gemini can be the perfect channel, one who can learn, understand, and teach. The idea for a Gemini to be a channel for as many people as possible, see, I said medium, right? Especially for those who are lost on their path, and help others reach their own personal certainty. The duality of Gemini is expressed in every area of life. They embody the ability to do more than one task at the same time, as well as the difficulty to commit in relationships. They have trouble with loyalty to one political party, a servant of two masters, and they tend to change moods, like the wind changes the direction of strength. That is why Geminis can be a different person day to day. And you can find that on the Kabbalah.com. I basically read that verbatim, but that's the Kabbalah.com. That is all about the Geminis and Gemini season. So we know that Gemini season starts from May 21st to June 20th. This is the sign of the inventor. We just said before, Geminis can see both sides to an issue. They're very flexible and can easily adapt. They're moved to any setting. Quick thinkers and quick-witted. Naturally curious, clever, and they get bored easily. They are seen as fickle, but their heart is usually in the right place. Their abundance of energy causes them to be, or appear to be, unfocused. The symbol of Geminis are the twins, and that's because Geminis think from different points of view, so they don't like to be alone, and they also don't like to do things alone. My son's birthday is on May 20th, so he's like a Taurus Gemini cusp kind of, and I definitely see that, like, he does not like to be alone at all. Like, if he's upstairs with one of my sisters are twins. If he's upstairs with one of my sisters or my oldest son, and one of them has to use the bathroom, he'll come down here, and you guys probably see the video, he'll come down here and sit down with me until they're done in the bathroom. Like, it's really like, nah, I'm not doing anything alone. And it's not entirely good. That's definitely something to work on if you do exhibit those Gemini traits. We are going from a fixed earth sign of Taurus to Gemini's light and airy sign, which is pretty exciting. We may feel good to move forward with projects, learning multiple different things, diversifying our energy, diversifying like our thoughts, our point of views on things and things like that. We feel ourselves doing that during this time. We may feel easily bored or a desire to shake things done. A new routine is definitely needed. Hi Prince, how you doing? I see my podcast Superman up there manifesting a podcast. Respect. This is a mutable sign, as Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces, which meaning that they're highly flexible and hate to get stuck in a situation. They're good at developing new talents and skills, honing in on communication skills. It's a good time to start writing, embracing varieties as far as, communication, things you're studying, different ways you're making money right now. Is definitely a good time to diversify your means to attain money right now, especially how we're going through this shift right now. It's also a good time to read, as during Gemini season. This is the time of communication, and that's all forms of communication, even literature. Make new acquaintances and work on your flexibility during this time. Focus on your mindset, all the things that we've been clinging on to and holding on to as like I guess traditions and routines and things, if you will. It's time to shake that up a little bit during this season. Whether you're Gemini or not, you're definitely going to feel compelled, because the sun is in Gemini right now. You're definitely going to feel compelled to shake things up. Get out of that routine that you've been holding on to in Taurus season, and start being more adaptable and flexible to things. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, that's definitely what you want to be doing. Some good stones to have during this time, and if you want, you could check out my stones on letsnobodiescollection.com. I make gemstones and organite. I've been doing like live videos and just having the camera on my jewelry. If you guys want to see like a close-up to anything while I'm doing those videos, just comment on the side. I had somebody comment on the side about earrings and things like that. I'm sitting in the room, I'm like cleaning, I'm writing, I'm reading, I'm doing things, and I'm playing music and talking to my kids and stuff while the camera's on there. So, you guys can communicate with me on there. I can see what you guys are writing. You want some water, Billy?
Yeah, they must be very, very cold.
It's been...
It's very, very cold because I never picked it up.
Hold on, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I'm gonna get watermelon all over me. I don't think these are good. They're kind of old. I don't think we should eat those. They were frozen. That's why. Try the blueberries. You can have the blueberries in there. I gotta get some more watermelon. You can have that too, that's fine. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey, did I eat all the green ones?
It's what, the green applesauce?
No, the green one of that.
Oh yeah, you did. There's no more green ones.
Do I need a spoon?
Yeah. I don't think there's one in there. You gotta use this one right here that's in your bowl. Or you can use a fork. That's fine. Just look it off and then use it.
And I didn't even have to wipe them.
The tissue is up there on the table. So when I upload this on YouTube, I'm gonna take this whole excerpt out of my video because... Oh, hold on a second. Sorry, yeah. Here, let me put that in the trash. Gracias. Close my refrigerator. And then close my door. Thanks. So, yeah, where was I? Oh, stones. So, the stones for the season to have on your body or on your altar, you want to have agate. Agate is a calming stone. It's good for stress, strength and stamina, forgiveness, self-esteem, some root chakra aligning, depending on what color. The things with agates, it really does go by color. If you're good with colors, like, red is for root chakra, yellow is for your sacral chakra, green is for your heart chakra, blue is for your throat chakra, and so on and so forth. If you're, in tune with colors, and then the dark versus pastel versus light, bright colors and neon colors, and what all those different frequencies do for your body, you can pretty much know what kind of agate to go for during this time. If you want to work on your communication skills under Gemini season, then you want to get a blue stone because you want to work on your throat chakra. If you want to work on your finances and your wealth and how you're obtaining If you want to diversify some things in your wealth and your life and your family and your finances, then you want to go for a green stone, which is good for relationships and love and stuff like that. But that relationship is also your relationship with your pentacles. So those green stones also go for wealth and accumulating those things. Like green aventurine, we know, is a merchant stone. We also know that jade is also merchant stone. Bloodstone does the same thing. So you want to go for those colors. Dark colors is kind of like more shadow work is going on. You're kind of defeating things. So if you're not good with money, you want to get a dark green stone. But if you're looking to bring in something, like you're looking to absorb something, gain energy within something, you want to get a brighter green stone. So it works like that. So when you get into like the pastels and the brightness and everything of the colors of the stone, it makes more sense. So that's agate. Chalcedony, I love chalcedony. It's a really pretty stone. It's like a combo of stones. I forget what it's not a mixture. It's like I forget the science word for it when you get into like geography and stuff. But yeah, so this is a calming stone. It works on your inner peace and meditation and things like that. Apatite is also like a nice turquoisey colored stone, and that's good for healing and storing info. Amber is a good recharging stone. Tiger's eye, it helps with fear, anxiety, it aids in harmony, balance, decision making, taking action, and insight, and anything with your solar plexus. Carnelian is a energy boosting stone. It's a stone of motivation, endurance, leadership, and courage. Citron is a merchant stone. That's another stone that's good. I keep a citron stone on my money at my altar. Like when I leave money there, I had a period of time where I was trying to separate my emotions from money. Because when I would have money, I was in a good mood, but when I didn't have money, I wasn't in a good mood. So I tried to separate the two. And so what I would do is I would just leave money around my room and I wouldn't touch it. And even when I needed it, when I felt like I needed it, or I felt like I didn't have money, I would not touch it. And it helped like remove my emotions from money. And that was pretty cool. That worked for me. I'm not saying like do it or you're going to be attached to money forever. That's just something that worked for me. It was an idea that came to my head and I was like, let me try that. So anyway, at my altar, I have a citron stone sitting on top of a stack of money, and that helps me attract money. It also said if you own a business and you have a cash register, keep that stone in your cash register. I also have a citron stone in my wallet, where laying on top of my debit cards. So it's like you attract more money. Gray is a cool, neutral, balanced color. It's associated with a sophistication. Light green is a life, renewal, nature, energy, fertility, abundance type stone. Silver is the metal during this time. This is a good time to invest in silver also. This is industrial, sleek, high-tech, modern, sophisticated. It's elegant. It draws negative energy from the body. And when I say negative energy, I mean positive ions. Metal of emotion, the psychic mind, love, healing, and patience. The number during this season is number 5, which is the number of humanity. Humanity and life, protection, love, reproduction, regeneration, strength, freedom, communication, curiosity, all that fun stuff. What else? So when we get into the tarot cards, the Magician card is about getting plans and all aspects of life organized. The Magician card is the tarot card for the Gemini season, which is pretty cool. The Lover's card and the Knight of Wands are 2 other tarot cards for this season. Oh, that's why I had that. So, the Magician card. And then I said, what did I say the other 2 tarot cards was? The Lover's card. Hold up, sorry y'all. Charismatic and spontaneity. And then the Knight of Swords card is feeling energetic and ready for action. So yeah. Gemini rules over the 3rd house. This is the house of communication. Much communication goes on between loved ones. This is written, verbal, and also conscious conversation. The third house reminds us that it's okay to use our conscious skills in addition to our reflective intelligence. It's also a time of creativity, interest, developing new habits, diversifying our habits, and things like that. And also, like, making turns in our journey, because now we're in like the diverse, adaptable Gemini season. You know, Geminis can be pulled in any direction that looks appealing to us. So like, you'll find yourself getting pulled in different directions. By the end of the season, you will not be thinking the same that you're thinking in this very moment. I promise you that. Mercury, again, is the planet that rules over Gemini season. Yay, Mercury. This is the planet of information and technology. It's known as the planetary messenger. It rules over self-expression, communication, connection, and intellect. The stones that you had, just if you just want to, you know, if you just want to channel like the energy of Mercury, those stones to have on your altar, on your body altar, your space altar, whatever it is that you want to do, is red agate. This is the stone of consciousness. It attracts wisdom and intelligence, and it powers up the sacral chakra as well as the root chakra. The emerald, which is the stone of prosperity and richness. Again, we're talking about that abundance again, that abundance and wealth. Pyrite, I love pyrite. Pyrite is like fool's gold. That's another. And it's grounding. It's a root chakra stone, and it protects your aura from energy attacks, and it cleanses and purifies the spirit, as well as attracting abundance and wealth. Turquoise is another good stone. That's another stone of consciousness, awareness of reality, finding purpose. Hematite is a stone of mankind. This is a stone of courage, strength, and willpower. It also helps you to bring in new ideas, form a masculine to feminine balance within yourself. I really like hematite. Hematite is very cooling. I like to wear that in the summertime. Just have like your hematite sitting on air and then just wear it for the day. It's very cooling. I like it. What else? Chalcedony, which is another like turquoise color type stone. It's a mixture of two different stones in one. Like if you have like, the way stones work is like, we know how stones work. You guys watch Magic School Bus, right? Like the different crusts of the earth, and is minerals in it, and you know, every now and then two layers of crust will come together and they create a different layer with a different molecular, well, ionic bond, or you know, molecular structure, if you will. So yeah, Chalcedony is a combination of two caves collided, and there was like some new stuff in the middle, and it's very pretty. This is a stone of meditation, manifestation, attaining calmness, and bringing relaxation to relieve your nerves. Blue lace agate helps to balance thinking. It also helps improve concentration and organize your thoughts. Fluorite is another really pretty stone that I like. I have a few pieces with fluorite in it. This is a stone of peace and harmony. It helps to release stress and anxiety. This is also an energy vacuum cleaner. So if you have like a lot of negative energy in your space, perhaps you have like a lot of company and a lot of people you don't really care for in your space all the time on a regular basis, you definitely want this. I used to keep fluorite on me at my job. I have like a few fluorite pieces I would just wear on me on a daily basis, and it would like suck up all that. We know that Gemini is the season. Mercury is attached to Wednesday. Wednesday is the day of the week. This is probably like the most spiritual day, maybe the day that you want to cleanse your space, recharge your space. What you want, child? Right there. This is the time you want to cleanse your space and recharge your space. Right here. Just make sure you close my door, baby. That's it. So Wednesday is the day of the week of communication, travel, studying. This is the day to pray to your Orisha, your Neter, whoever you talk to on a normal day. Wednesday is the day to do it. Some good stones to have on your home and body altar during a Wednesday is green aventurine. We talked about that stone already. That is a merchant stone. It's good for love and wealth, creativity, imagination, and prosperity. Mica is a good, Mica is like a herb more so than any. Mica. Isn't that a plant? Yeah. That's in my Metu Netter notes. This is good for peace, insomnia, digestive system, blood sugar. Like I have Mica, but I have Mica powder. And I'm trying to think. Lavender. Lavender is, yeah, Mika is a plant. Lavender is good to treat anxiety, fungal infections, hair loss, depression, high blood pressure, nausea, menstrual pain, eczema. If you're like my nectar is Eshwa. He's my favorite, Alegua. And so I keep lavender oil on my altar. I dress my candles with lavender oil. Lavender is a good thing to have on your altar. It helps with headaches and spasms and toothaches and sores. It also prevents hair loss. I never tried to put lavender in my hair. I like tea tree oil in my hair and peppermint oil. I like the way peppermint oil feels on my scalp. It's special. So yeah, lemongrass is also something good to have on your altar during this time. You can drink it as a tea for relieving anxiety. It lowers cholesterol, infection protection. Chewing on lemongrass stalks help deal with health, pain relief, and boosting red blood cells and bloating relief. And peppermint is also good to have during this time. This helps with digestion, muscle relaxation. It's also a pain reliever, and it helps unclog the sinuses. I like peppermint. I have it's like this Breathe Easy combo of oil that I put in my little aromatherapy thing. It's like peppermint oil, tea tree oil, something else. I don't know what the something else is though, but I put that one in there in the morning, first thing in the morning, so while I'm working out, I'm clearing my sinuses and all that stuff, and I'm deep breathing, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm awake for the rest of the day. It's better than starting my day with a cup of coffee and being dehydrated. The last time I had a cup of coffee, my mom had bought me a cup of coffee, and I was so thirsty for the rest of the day. Oh my God, I don't know how I was doing it. I was drinking 2 cups a day, and I was living my best life. I can't do it no more. It's weird. It's weird how I'll mentally know that I need to make certain decisions, and then after a while my body be like, oh, you ain't make that decision yet, let me help you. And so now you're dehydrated as fuck every time you drink coffee. You don't even want the aftermath of this anymore. Same thing happened with drinking and smoking. I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke anymore. I still smoke weed though, I ain't gonna hurt you. I'm a little lit right now. My homegirl came by and she made me some edibles. I got some Parmesan. It's starting to hit. I see it in my face. She gave me some Parmesan wings, and them shits is delicious. I feel like that's cheating. If you make it taste good, I'm about to finish this whole plate. So now I got 7 wings deep, and I'm lit. And then she made me some strawberry. I'm about to show y'all because I want to sip right now. She made me some strawberry lemonade. This shit delicious. Look how much is in this cup. I got this cup an hour ago. Not even. It's good though. It's called wedding cake. Yeah, I'm starting to see it in my face. I'm sorry, y'all. So yeah, I'm about to stop smoking weed too. I'm just gonna stick to that. I'm just gonna have a big bucket of lemonade so y'all come over yo, she always drinking lemonade. She alright? So yeah. Okay, so now I want to get into the Metu Neter guidelines for the Gemini season, because we done went over Chinese zodiac, we done went over the Kabbalah, we done went over paganism a little bit, we touched the Druidness a little bit, we touched on the plants and everything. So see how I put a little bit of everything in there, and it's all interconnected because I'm about to read Metu Neter, and it's about to basically reiterate everything I just read. So let's do it. It's just different vocabulary. Jargon is everything, you know what I mean? Let you. Okay. So this is the season of Sebek. S-E-B-E-K. I'm gonna write it down here. So if y'all ever, hey Tara, if y'all want to look it up yourself, y'all be like, you could just be pulling stuff out her butt. And I'm reading from Metu Neter Volume 1. And if you guys never read this before, there's a free PDF file you can find on Google. If you Google it, a free PDF file of Metu Neter. And me and Ezekiel did a book review. That was actually the first book review we ever did. We read Metu Neter together, which was really great. And we apply it to everything now, obviously. So, this is the season of Sebek. From a comedic standpoint, on poop. Nika didn't pull that out, but My pronunciation of things are not 100, and I've been trying really, really hard to find, like, maybe if there's like someone who actually teaches the pronunciations or the language, the comedic language, like the, you know, whatever. If y'all know somebody who does, or if y'all follow a YouTube page that does teach the language and pronunciations, please send them my way, because I don't have a comfortability in butchering names. I'm not comfortable with that if I am. So if you guys are listening to me and you guys are correcting me, please like send me a voice message in my inbox or whatever and be like, oh, these are how you pronounce these, by the way. I had someone comment on my YouTube page and tell me that I was mispronouncing something, and I wasn't offended at all. I was just like, thank you, because I'm going off of like how I would read it, you know what I mean? So like, just let me know. I like to be corrected. I don't like just walking around with my own facts. Obama said that in an interview one time. He's like, the issue is that everybody walks around with their own facts, and yeah, that doesn't really work for me. Anyway, so Canaanites, they have Raphael, which is like, you know, El is like angel. Kabbalistical is Had. Yoruba is Elegba or Eshu, and Hindu Kush is Matangi. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this deals with the 8th sphere on the Tree of Life. And if you guys follow Metu Netter, the 8th sphere deals with distinctions and creating variations. That's where when we come up with our different like demographics and labels, if you will, our specifications, classifications, things like that. So this is the season of, you know, not necessarily concentrating on those things, but like bringing to light what the different demographics or separations or classifications are, if you will. In the sphere of like manifestations and things, this is where you would put a label to what it is that you're manifesting, and like being very descriptive. Again, the planet is Mercury. The day is Wednesday. The color during this time is saffron and red and black. So you can have like a red and black cloth at your altar, red and black candles, whatever it is that you do. The number is 3, which is the number we know is the number of creation. The gem is emerald, which is a green stone, which is green is the color of abundance, your heart chakra, wealth, fertility, things like that. Sidereal is in full moon in Gemini and Virgo. So as far as herbalism goes, according to Metu Netter, to have in your bath during this time is Abre Camino. And I have like a little, I could have sworn I wrote this down somewhere. Hold up, y'all. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. So I have like a little note. So I'm gonna explain to y'all what each plant is. Oh, I wrote that down too. Shit, y'all, my bad. So Abre Camino, that plant is used in spells as a road opener. Another thing you can have in your bath during this time is Arasa Cantoro, and that is to break bad luck or reversal spells. So this is a good time to do that. Put that in your bath. Oregano is a good thing to put in your bath at this time, and oregano is a good antioxidant. It's also good antibacterial, and it's also good with like if you have like cancerous cells or, you know, cancer. It helps to eliminate that as well. So oregano is good to have in your food and stuff. So oregano is also good for happiness, tranquility, luck, health, and dreams. And lavender, we know that lavender is calming. It's good for sleep. It's good for lowering blood pressure if you have any pain. It's also good for asthma or any other type of respiratory issues. It's also good for your hair, apparently. And larkspur is the last thing, and that's antifungal. It's a good sedative, and it's also a good protection from spells. So a lot of like spell reversal, protection, road opener. I want to try the road opener one though. Oils, good oils to have during this time. Lavender, again, calming, sleep, and things like that. And lily of the valley. And lily of the valley is good for heart problems, UTI, scars, and insight. It helps with insight. Incense, the kind of incense you might want to have in your space during this time, lavender again, and also lily of the valley. So those are what you want during this time. If y'all interested, going back to the tarot card thing, because I wrote notes about it, the Lover's card is with number 6, which is the number of creation, and because it's 2 threes, and this is the card of love or the beginning of a romance. So if you pull this card upright, it's instant chemistry by chance, or in reverse, it means individual challenges are coming. You may find yourself challenging society's rules. Swords cards deal with morality or conflict. So if you're ever doing a tarot reading and you pull a swords card, you already know automatically you're dealing with some type of conflict. The Knight of Swords is associated with Gemini season, and if you pull that card upright, it means pursue your aim while being respectable. So go for whatever it is that you're trying to go for. Just be respectable while you're doing it. And if you pull this card in reverse, someone is behaving indifferent or cold, and that's okay. And then the Magician card up is the first card, which is pretty cool. And upright is a warning to bring all elements of your life together for a situation that's coming. And if you pull it in reverse, all your elements are together and you can go out and about, you perfectionist you. So that was the tarot thing that I forgot to read. Getting back into Matthew Netter. The spiritual direction during the season is the northwest, and the mundane direction, which is direction you don't want to face at all, is the south. Yeah, nobody wants to go to the south right now. I'm sorry. I had jokes, but they're inappropriate. My sense of humor is different. So personality portfolio. Through its action of the kabit, the animal spirit, the cool and dry energy of Mercury makes the personality sphere 9. And the 9th sphere on the tree of life is associated with utilizing all preceding facts of sphere 1 through 8 to make a vehicle that coordinates all your physical energy to create this physical thing event. So like spheres 1 through 8 deal with, like, okay, if you think about the scientific method, right? You have your hypothesis and blah, 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 blah. So like with the sphere of life, when you're talking about manifestation, the first spheres 1 through 8 is like, okay, we're all one. But not only are we all one, we're all individuals. We're all reflections of one another. I notice all these people. I know that I'm a part of a whole, so nothing is more important to me, whereas I'm still important. I know why I want to do this thing. I can label each element and classify everything, and now I've taken all of these spiritual faculties and spiritual administrators and the 48 laws and my recognition of our oneness yet individuality, and knowing that I'm a part of a whole, so nothing is more important to me yet I am still important. I have put all these things together, and now I'm at sphere number 9, and I'm taking that spiritual energy and now I'm gathering this physical energy, and when I get into sphere 10, whatever it is I have been manifesting and labeling and bringing into physical energy from spheres 1 through 9 is now into fruition. I hope I explained that correctly. I mean, I know I did it correctly, but I hope you guys understand it. Understand what I just said. That's basically what the spheres of life are in a nutshell. So sphere 9 deals with taking spheres 1 through 8 and saying, all right, here goes some physical energy added to it. Let's create something in sphere 10. And sphere 10 is whatever you write after the equal sign. So yeah, emotional traits of Gemini you may feel during Gemini season. Positive traits are sharp and witty, fond of travel, critical in a positive way, able to separate issues based on externals, diplomatic, cold, and petty. I'm not even gonna try it. Logical minded and communicative, negatively critical, busy. Oh, some negative traits. They didn't put a negative sign here. Ooh, I found a typo. Negative traits: negatively critical, busybody, opinionated, inconstant in belief, pretending to know yet ignorant, mischief maker, gossiper, scheming, cunning, argumentative, proud, sly, lying, and selfish. Some mental traits is segregative thinking, labeling, defining. Social correspondences are quick-witted people, good learners from mere observation. Career functions: so-called intellectuals, scholars, academicians. What is it called? Academicians? What the fuck? People who like academics. What is y'all doing? Just making up words? Students, teachers, ambassadors, astrologers, mathematicians, clerks, technicians, lawyers, preachers, teachers, traders, young men. And this isn't just, if y'all know, like Mercury rules over Gemini and Virgo. So if you're a Virgo like me, woo woo, this applies to you too, because this is basically the energy of Mercury. But this is also a blanket covering all of you, because now the sun isn't, well, the sun will be in Gemini season. So this will be an overall blanket over all of us. We all may be feeling this in some way or sense as the sun goes through Gemini season. And we got some other planets going through Gemini season too, but I'll get to that in a minute. I'm almost done, y'all. So, spiritual portfolio, as far as spiritual function, however pragmatic and necessary for the manipulation of physical phenomena, the mastery of definitions, names, and descriptions, does not constitute knowledge of reality. Proceeding with awareness of this limitation will bring us good fortune. So, it's basically saying, you know, even though, again, coming back to the knowledge of the Kabbalah, saying that, you know, I'm telling you these things not so you can celebrate and own it and hone up to it, so you can work on it. So even though, like, you know, this energy is associated with the ninth sphere of life, which is the, eighth sphere, about making distinctions and labels and things like that, it's being, you have to be aware of how limiting that is. Because you put a distinction to something, because you place something inside of a box or demographic, a label, you have placed certain things that have to be true in order for the label you put upon it to be true, thus limiting what it is. I'm a human. That means I gotta cross off some boxes to say that I qualify to be that, thus limiting what I could possibly do if I stop saying I'm a human, or stop saying I'm, you know, limited to this nationality or whatever. You guys know where I'm going with this. So by putting certain labels and certain things on there, yeah, it's cool that you can do that. It's cool that we can do that to manifest things, but also be aware of how limiting it is. Also, and when you're aware of how limiting those type of labels are, you're able to attract more abundance. Proceeding without awareness of this limitation brings misfortune. We speak ill of the person coming into being in the third month of gestation of life, arising out of the chance coming together of non-living particles in the same breath. If we give better odds to a random assortment of. Okay, he was just throwing shade in those last two sentences, but it was a long, dragged out sentence of shade. Basically saying we look at a bunch of words and we look at non-living particles and on index cards and call ourselves scientists. So, key phrases during this time: disunion due to segregative thinking through the use of clever tactics, clever words, paying attention to details, priding one's education, logical ability, verbal ability, litigations, arguments, having the facts, data, and being informed. So during this time, you're probably more so focused on those type of things. Biological correspondences, physiologically wise, Mercury governs the functions of the motor and sensory nerves. So be mindful of those nerves during this time. Be more gentle with them. Don't let people get on your nerves. Pathologically, nervous irritability, asthma, bronchitis, any type of breathing or respiratory issues, speech impediments, and things like that you want to be mindful of. Probably a good time to get into some neurology, get in tune with your neurons, your nerves and things like that if you don't want to go to a neurologist yourself. Comedic therapeutics, just nerve therapy. Chinese medicine, lung, large intestine system, wind and disease patterns. So basically like still focusing on asthma. I guess like people having allergies during this season and stuff, right? Like, you know, all those respiratory issues. Initially that was like the thing on, well, not initially, still, like, you know, with COVID, it's like respiratory issues and things like that. So, you know, that's it from Metu Netter. Oh, one more thing. It's a time and place for everything. Did I probably did. I just want to tell y'all what the prayer direction is and all that stuff. And I took my like little bookmark out. I remember this song. Yo. I don't know how y'all feel about Kanye. I love him. I don't hide that about myself. That might be like a deal breaker for some of you. Oh my god, I can't find this. Oh god, there's a ghost in my room. We're gonna get him out as soon as I get done with this. Okay, I can't find it. Oh, my feelings are hurt. Oh, hold up. I'm just trying to find the page to tell y'all about the spiritual directions and things like that. And I usually do that in my reading, so that's why I'm like stuck on doing it. Yes, 261. I'm gonna remember that next time. That way I won't do this again. Oh, I did have a bookmark. It just wasn't falling out. See, I was thinking of myself. Okay, so from May 5th to June 21st, the southeast from 9 a.m. to noon, we are in Haru. The earth is warming up, your animal spirit is absorbing the heat and therefore drying out. Your moderate fire, hot, dry energy is in activity. This is the most auspicious time to carry out such tasks that require the vitality, which nourishes the ability to raise truth above our emotional and sensual conditionings. The best time to impose your will upon your life force, as the reduction of your moisture has undermined your All-Set and Het Haru faculties. Power breathing, aerobics, remedies for the cardiovascular system, etc. are in harmony with this point in your biorhythm. The bitter flavor will help your fire to rise and maintain itself. Sweets will dissipate your vitality and give power to water emotions. So stay away from sweets, drink a lot of water. It's about to get hot and dry, y'all, so get ready. Alright, now we can get into my favorite part. This is the planetary forecast. Oh my god, that's so good. That's not fair how good that is. No, I just want like a whole picture of it. Shout outs to Love Edibles. Love.edibles out there handing out delicious ass edibles. Oh yeah. Hold up. Mercury. Mercury rules the decision-making mind and how one communicates, teaches, and learns. And Mercury is, when we start Gemini season, Mercury will be in Gemini in the 10th house. And Mercury entered Gemini on May 12th. So it enters the 11th house on May 24th. And so, like, while Gemini is in the 10th house, we find ourselves kind of like diversifying how we learn. Like, your 10th house is all about like business. Like, the 10th house is like your like success, like how you're going to find success, what that looks like for you, what's going to help you reach that highest height in that area. So with Mercury being Gemini in the 10th house, what it is you're going to find yourself finding different ways to reach success. You're also going to find yourself changing your point of view of what success is, what that looks like for you. Because Gemini helps us open up our points of view and helps us be more diverse. And maybe certain things that we weren't paying attention to that people were trying to communicate with us before, we might find a different way to bump into that ideal again. Like, you might find something else popping up to you and it might remind you like, oh yeah, I remember like such and such was telling me about that. And so it's going to make you start to dive into those different things. It's funny because as soon as I started talking about the planets, I got messages here, phone call there, like, okay, I see what's happening. But it's alright, we're gonna channel this anyway. So when Gemini enters Cancer, Gemini is going to enter Cancer on the 28th, and so it'll be in Cancer in the 11th house. When Gemini is in, when Mercury is in Gemini in the 10th house, you're like focusing on things of your career. But then when it goes into the 11th house, now you're focusing on things of your family. It's like, okay, I got, I diversified my thoughts and career, my outlook on that and what that's looking like. And now I'm bringing it home. I'm bringing it home to my family. I'm applying it to what I have going on inside of my house. So you're bringing things back. And now we're entering Cancer, which is all about love and gaining insight and going back into that shell and getting in tune with yourself. So we're bringing multiple ways of communication. We're bringing multiple ways of learning, of teaching, of absorbing knowledge. And, with learning comes growth. And we're applying it to our businesses and how we reach success. We're applying it to ourselves. And then we're going to take it home to the family. So that's really exciting for what Mercury is doing during Gemini season. And then we got the Mercury retrograde popping up. Mercury is going in retrograde from June 18th all the way up into July 12th. So that's like a little cheat sheet for how we're going to start off Cancer season for y'all. We will be in Mercury retrograde, and it will be in Cancer still. So we'll still be focusing on our insight, our insides, and it'll be in 11th house, so we'll still be applying that to our family and our loved ones. So we're still going more inward and kind of like unlearning and unraveling a little bit the things that we have been putting in place for our family, the things we have been putting in place with how we learn and what we learn for. Maybe some of you guys are going to start attaching yourselves to this homeschooling thing. Maybe you guys go out into the world and realize like, yo, my kids really been doing some BS lately. My kids have really been, maybe you had a paradigm shift in this public school system. And so now you're applying things to yourself and applying things to your children. Maybe you have had like a eye-opening experience about how money works, or maybe your job and your career choice, or maybe the career choice you've been pressuring your kids to have. And so, you're absorbing that, you're applying it to yourself, and then you're going to bring it home. So, even in retrograde, have no fear. Just be mindful of how you communicate these new things that you learn. Just be more mindful of your communication from June 18th to July 12th. Especially communication from people that you aren't entirely connected to, because with this Mercury, the way this Mercury is feeling, it's like you should probably just focus on communicating with your intimate circles, especially during a retrograde. It's time to like communicate and build with them. Moving on, Venus rules our love and finances and what we find ourselves attracted to. Venus, when we start Gemini season, Venus is in retrograde. It's been in retrograde since, I don't even have the date of when it went into retrograde, but it's been in Gemini since April 3rd. And it's in retrograde in the 10th house. And we know the 10th house deals with your home and family and things like that. And we know that Gemini is about expanding our points of view, expanding, how we communicate and how we learn and things like that. So you're going to find yourself changing how you think, how you communicate, how you absorb knowledge in terms of love and finances. Maybe some of your outlooks on relationships, what kind of relationship you want, what kind of relationship you've been in. Maybe your point of view is going to change in that. You're going to change how you make money. Again, amplifying what's going on in Mercury a little bit, because we got Venus and Mercury sitting up in Gemini together. And that's pretty exciting. That means they're going to be close to one another. So you're going to find them working hand in hand. Amplifying that Gemini energy for you, amplifying that Gemini energy in your home and your levels of success and in your love. So that's pretty exciting. And we do see that as we're in quarantine, the way we look at the people that we live with, it has changed. It has, some for the better. Some may feel for the worse, but in reality it's for the better. It's just something you weren't paying attention to before. Maybe the way you've been communicating with certain people, you have realized from being so intimate in this moment in time and space that how you have been communicating hasn't been correct. How you've been trying to teach hasn't been correct. But yeah, Venus is in Gemini and retrograde in the 10th house, and it's in Gemini until August 6th, and it will be in retrograde until June 25th. So we're going to be in retrograde for a little bit, unraveling, and it's very exciting. It's nothing to be scared of at all. A lot of you have been in relationships that you have no business being in, and I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about relationships with business people, relationships with family members, relationships with friends, relationships with associates that you have been making to believe is your friend. I hear that in my ear right now. I don't know why, but some of y'all need to unravel a little bit and let some things go. So yeah, that retrograde is definitely necessary as we, start to open up again, I guess. We definitely need that unravel real quick. And then Venus enters the 11th house, which when we start talking about our families and things again, they enter the 11th house at August 2nd. August 2nd. So that's something to look forward to. Mars rules our animal instincts, our motivations, our energy, our desires, how we express anger, and what makes us angry, what makes us act, and how we direct our ambitions. Mars is in Pisces in the 7th house and has been in Pisces in the 7th house since May 13th and will continue to be there until June 27th. During this time, Mars is a very aggressive energy, but it's also where we find our passions from, right? And I just want us to be a little bit more mindful because Mars will be in Pisces, and we know Pisces is duality, but it also can be very expansive. We know how important duality is, but with duality has to be a balance. And for those of you who are not balanced in your duality during this time, like definitely like be mindful of the duality, like be mindful of the side of you that you are giving entirely too much energy to that's not serving you well because you're not giving enough energy to the other side. You want to be mindful of the contracts you sign during this time. Maybe certain illusions are being created because we know Pisces is associated with the dreamy Neptune. Neptune deals with dreams, imagination, your subconscious, just the things that you can't touch with your five senses. And you really just want to be mindful of being fed any type of illusions during this time. Breaking free from that, but also keeping your duality to not be so physical that you cannot think abstractly either. So yeah, you definitely want to work on your balance during this time so you can make good decisions with that Mars energy. And then June 10th, from June 10th to June 27th, Mars will be in Pisces in the 8th house. And during this time, energy and passions and complexities and some illusions come to light because we know that the 8th house is associated with Scorpio energy, and Scorpio is associated with power, transformations. I just wanted to double check, make sure, because I stopped reading my notes and I just started talking. But it's associated with the 8th house, which is, deals with the supernatural and occult topics and things like that, which will be kind of interesting because I have been following a few people I trust and I've known since I was in like Head Start, that have been talking about different, conspiracy theories and theories of what they think is going on while we're in quarantine, with different kind of like groups of people, celebrities mostly. And the fact that I seen Mars and Pisces in the 8th house, I just got that feeling like, we know Pisces deals with like illusions and expansive energy, and we have been mentally unbalanced in that sense where we stopped being grounded and we started buying the illusion. We started buying the illusion of capitalism and consumerism and a lot of other things, like especially like on the internet. Like, it takes a few people to do something and we all fall into the illusion of what it is that they're doing. And so yeah, with that, I'm sorry. So with that, with Pisces in the 8th house, the 8th house is dealing with that Scorpio energy of unraveling all of those things. Like, with Pluto has been in retrograde, so like our secrets have been unraveling in a really cool way. And the reason for certain deaths, because we know with the death card comes rebirth. It's not just a total death. There is some type of transformation, and that's what Pluto rules. That's what the 8th house rules. So, you know, that's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. So energy and passions and complexities are coming to light. Some illusions are going to be coming to light. So as at first you're going to be buying into some things, but then it's going to come out. He never closes my door. I don't understand. Yeah. Jupiter governs our generosity, our tolerance, our law, our religion, like any type of like infrastructure we kind of make for ourselves, like our traditions and things. Jupiter is a cool planet. So our tolerance and things, and Jupiter is in Capricorn still. Jupiter has been in Capricorn since December 2nd, 2019. Jupiter is one of our largest planets. It takes him a while to get from get 30 degrees popping, get from point A to point B. So like, you know, be patient with Jupiter. He gonna get where he gonna get. But he will be in Capricorn season until December 18th actually of this year. So another shift we're gonna see Jupiter finally moving out of Capricorn season this year before the new year comes in. Then it'll be in Sagittarius season, which is going to be really interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so Jupiter is in retrograde and has been in retrograde since May 14th, and it will be in retrograde until September 12th. Jupiter is also in the 5th house. The 5th house deals with like humanity and doing things to help people. So Jupiter is kind of in Jupiter, if you will. Yeah. So there's a strong sense of duty, integrity, and honesty and mature judgment being amplified during this season. We find since 2019 we've been having some pretty radical people in our house, like the Senate, and being representatives and things like that, and they have been, you know, bringing forth the truth to us and unraveling certain things and thoughts to us, you know. I'm a big fan of AOC, Elon Omar, and, you know, all the other women that, you know, are on the totem pole right now, just like, you know, amplifying our voices and bringing a sense of integrity back to our country as much as we can create, you know, with this still imbalance going on. Routines and restrictions that we have been applying to ourselves from that Capricorn energy, we have been applying it to our home, our creativity. Maybe you guys have been having a hard time. What's happening? I hope you guys can still hear me. But anyway, we've been having a hard time with, you know, coming to light and being honest and open about our creativity desires and our romantic desires and things that we've been wanting to do. We have been, you know, covering ourselves up with different routines and restrictions. And this is just, you know, during this time, this last year or so, we have been kind of getting pushed towards no longer providing those restrictions on us, if you will. We're kind of breaking free from those restrictions. Yeah. A little bit of amplification to those restrictions. Saturn rules our restrictions, our boundaries, our depressions, our self-discipline, and how one may distance themselves. It also rules how one may be restraining themselves, their fears, and challenges. Aquarius, Saturn has been in Aquarius. It has been in Aquarius since March 22nd, and it will be in Aquarius until July 1st. And during this time, you feel yourself being like more individualistic, breaking some of those restrictions and fears, because, you know, we have this like strict planet in this like expansive energy of Aquarius. And so you may find like a bit of a tug of war going on, like, should I keep with what I'm thinking or not? And as we know, Saturn is in retrograde. It has been in retrograde since May 11th and will stay in retrograde till September 28th. There's more aggressive energy and unraveling that individualistic energy. And there's more aggressive energy being applied to developing that sense of freedom that's needed. So something major is definitely going to come when it comes time to break free to some restrictions. A few restrictions are going to be like harder to break than others, and I hope you guys are okay and prepared for that. But it is necessary. It is definitely necessary, and it will be necessary. We have until September. You see a lot of these planets are unraveling, but they'll go back to forward in September. So that kind of gives us a bit of an ideal of what that timeline is looking like, if you will. So yeah, Saturn enters the sixth house. Oh, Saturn is in the sixth house still. So we're applying, all of this knowledge to our health and our wellness, our daily routines, and our decision making with our bodies and things like that. So, as we're in retrograde, the majority of our retrograde will be dealing with that health and wellness and daily routine and breaking some of those restrictions we have set for ourselves, breaking free from some of those chains that we have put placed upon ourselves on our mind and that we've allowed other people to put on ourselves. And then, it goes into the fifth house on August 6th. That's when Saturn will enter the fifth house, and the fifth house, it applies to romance and children. So as we're breaking things for ourselves, we're going to go back into our homes. Like I said, Mercury and Venus, now we see Saturn working hand in hand with this kind of energy of going out into the world and breaking apart things and then coming back home and being like, okay, now it's time for me to heal some of these relationships that I have at home with my loved ones and my children and keep things going. So that's really, really exciting. I'm very excited for what's going on. Uranus governs our individuality, progressiveness, change, and it's also the force that makes one to do things in a new way or face the truth about their ways. And we know Uranus has been in stubborn Taurus, so there's definitely been a tug of war with how we have been trying to change, how we've been changing how we view our pinnacles, because we know Taurus is with that lovely physical nature of Venus and the Pinnacles card, that materialistic energy. And so we are definitely playing tug of war with how we're changing our views on love, relationships, our bonds with ourselves, each other on different levels. It's a big deal, and it's in the ninth house. It's been this way since March 6, 2019, and will stay in this house in this zodiac sign until April 26, 2026. So you definitely have to be super patient with Uranus. We are dealing with this progressive energy with the things that we've been clinging on to for another 6 years, y'all. So, just get used to that energy being regular. And we're shaking up how we study, how we absorb new information, curiosities that we have, new philosophies and traveling that we've been holding on to. Maybe some thoughts you've been having about some foreign countries or traveling to other places. I know we have the year of the return. How are you guys, interpreting the year of return, or going back to another country, going back to your homeland, or staying here? We're shaking up some ideas. We're definitely learning how to think in new ways, in different ways, and changing our philosophies, which is also always exciting. I love learning new philosophies. One of my girlfriends took a philosophy class, and I wrote her papers for the semester, and that was fun. Reading philosophy articles and writing papers on them. I appreciated that. Moving on, Neptune. Neptune rules the subconscious, the dreams, healing, inspirations, and psychic sensitivity. This is the dimension of life that cannot be experienced by the five senses. So this is that expansive energy that I was telling you about. Neptune is in Pisces in the 8th house, and it has been here since February 4th, 2012, and will stay here until January 26, 26. So that 2026 popping up, Uranus and Neptune will be moving forward into a new zodiac at the same time. So that's pretty exciting. But anyway, so until 2026, we will be dealing with Neptune and Pisces, and it's just like the double expansive energy. A lot of illusions being made. A lot of emphasis on the need of duality is being created with that. And it might be like a bit of an imbalance going on with Pisces, yeah, because instead of dealing with Uranus and Neptune and Pisces, we're just dealing with Neptune and Pisces, which brings it a more amplification to that illusion type mentality. A lot of illusions are going to be fed to us during this time, but You have to, the thing with Pisces and Pisceans and Pisces season is learning and grasping the ability to see through and stay grounded with those illusions and that need for expansiveness. But the positive part of expansiveness is it comes with abundance. So we maybe on the flip side experiencing heaviness and abundance as well. If there's a duality, if you are in tuned and you already have this duality, you're already prepared for Neptune to be in Pisces. There's definitely lots of abundance coming. The universe is always giving to us, and it looks like the universe will be giving us a lot more. But definitely be mindful of that. I'm a little more so, I'm a worrier. I can't help it. But like I'm more so worried about that Neptune and Pisces being more on the side of illusions. Especially as we have, I just watched a video of another spacecraft going into outer space, and we know what they're doing there. They're building satellites, to match up with the towers that they're creating down here. And, only God knows what kind of electromagnetic field that is going to turn into. But to me, it sounds like illusions that will be created in our airspace on a whole different level. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah. Neptune's retrograde is coming up. It actually begins June 22nd. So a lot of unraveling of illusions, a lot of healing will be going on. A lot of people will be tapping into that insight and subconsciousness. Definitely write out your dreams during this time. I think during this entire time, just get in tune with your dreams and your sixth dimension and all that stuff. So Pluto rules over death and rebirth. It rules over destruction and healing, power and secrets, and how one will transform. Pluto is in Capricorn in the 5th house, and it's also in retrograde. It has been in Capricorn since January 26, 2008, and will stay in Capricorn until January 20th, 2024. And it has been in retrograde since April 26, 2020, and will stay in retrograde until October 3rd, 2020. So we know Pluto, we just said, rules over death and rebirth, but with it in Capricorn, it's kind of like a lot of restrictions that we have been putting onto ourselves that have been enabling us from seeking certain levels of power, achieving certain levels of rebirth and transformation, preventing us from certain healing. We're going to feel ourselves amplifying on that, and we have been. We have seen like countless posts of breaking generational curses, building generational wealth. We're just revamping how we treat our next generation, and also revamping the things that we learned from our last generation, which is very important, right? We find ourselves, enhancing our creativity and our romance. A lot of us are changing how we view romantic relationships. A lot of us are changing how we the things that we feel like we deserve in a romantic relationship. A lot of you guys are taking back your power in your romantic relationships. I feel a lot of that going on. Definitely keep going with that. Definitely keep going with whatever is enhancing you to transform. This is definitely a time of transformation. I watched a talk with Brother Born where one of his guests was talking about moving forward into the 5th dimension, into the 5G network and things like that. Definitely a time for transformation in any way you see fit. So if you're not growing right now, if you're not, breaking out of that cocoon and feeling that pain right now, definitely check back in with yourself. And I like to journal. I would suggest journaling and see what it is that you can do different, I guess. So the new moon is the moon of rebirth. This is the beginning moon phase to the moon cycle, representing rest and beginnings. This is the perfect time to go inward and get in tune with yourself, begin planning goals for yourself, and do rituals of growth. The new moon is May 22nd, and it will be in Gemini in the 10th house. So we're just bringing in that Gemini energy with love, with our sun and our moon and our Mercury and our Venus. Just Gemini love everywhere. We are definitely going to be looking into diversifying our sources of knowledge, diversifying our places of communication, diversifying who we network in, expanding our goals, expanding our point of views on home life, on success, on our definition of success, or how we achieve that success. It's going to be a lot of transformation going on and just diversifying ourselves altogether. We are expanding tremendously, and we are going to expand how we absorb knowledge as well. So that's really, 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 really exciting. I told y'all, like, the planets are just doing amazing things. Like, never fear, the planets are here. Full moon. The full moon is the moon of celebration. This is the moon that comes with a surge of energy. This is a great time to cleanse and charge yourself in your spaces. This is also a great time to finish any projects you have open. A great time for cleansing and protection rituals. The full moon starts on June 5th, 2020, and it's in Sagittarius in the 4th house. So there's like a lot of time, like a big sense of cheerfulness, giving back, getting with your family. This is definitely a good time to like recharge with your family, recharge with your loved ones. Especially because we're about to, start getting into that space and time once we get into like mid-June, where you are actually going to be taking all those things you've been learning and growing and point of views and bring them into your home. And certain planets go into the 5th house, a certain planets go into Cancer and things like that. We're bringing things back home. So, this full moon is definitely at a perfect time to just be at home with your family and recharge and connect and things like that. So that's pretty exciting. The true node. The true node is our karmic direction in this lifetime. It points you towards your destiny. And our true node will be in Gemini and has been in Gemini since May 5th and will be in Gemini up until April 28th, 2021. It's also in the 11th house, and it goes into the 10th house on September 15th. So with the true node in Gemini in the 11th house, you feel yourself going towards the direction of being more of a humanitarian. I see a lot of black people coming together and open up their eyes. The year of the return is here. Let's not forget. I see a lot of black people open to buying land. Bringing back the black renaissance has been very, very exciting. So we definitely are, it seems we are going in that karmic direction. We have dealt with enough. We have learned enough. We're unraveling. We're spending this entire summer, springtime unraveling and breaking curses and things like that and opening our eyes. So we're definitely going in the direction of humanitarianism. We're definitely going in the direction of doing more for others and doing more for our family and our tribes and our culture and things like that. So that's very, very, very exciting. Then when it goes into retrograde, our true node goes into a retrograde and it has been in retrograde. Oh, it is in retrograde right now. Since December 30th, 2019, up until April 28th, 2021. And it started in Cancer in the 11th house. And that's pretty cool. When things go in retrograde, it's like, okay, when it's going forward, it's like a lot of that energy is like extroverted, but like when it goes in retrograde, it's more like it's more introverted. That's why they tell you like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, don't talk to nobody. It's not don't talk to anybody, it's more so like time to go inward and be a little bit mindful about how you communicate with people, because you might see things you didn't notice before. That's essentially what it is. So while it's in retrograde, as it has been for a whole year, we have been going inward. We have been changing the way we view things and our religion and things like that. So when our true node goes back forward in 2021, that'll be pretty exciting to see what comes from that. Midheaven. Our midheaven is our most visible achievements in the eyes of society, our public face, our accomplishments, and overall sense of responsibility and standing in the world or society. Our midheaven is currently in Leo in 12th house, has been since May 4th, 2020, and will stay there till June 2nd, 2020. And it enters the 1st house on May 30th, 2020. And during this time, reflect on our karmic relationships meant solely for our ego. Kind of let go of some of those. Maybe some of your relationships you've been in, whether it's like work relationships, romantic relationships, or whatever. Maybe most of them were more so for your ego. They were superficial. You just like them because they look good. But when you get into the depth of it, they're not serving you any purpose. They're not, they're not feeding your spirit. They're more draining to you than anything. So during this time, it's definitely a good time to, reflect on the things you've been holding on to for the sake of your ego, and just be ready to let some of those things go. You're going to be way more driven to achieve your goals during this time. Um, you're not even gonna have time for these karmic relationships anymore. Like, so even if you don't verbally do it yourself, the universe is definitely gonna do it for you. Um, no, it's still broke. Virgo, midhaven heaven, it enters Virgo, the first house, on June 3rd, 2020, and it enters the second house on June 21st, 2020. Planning, organizing, and your physical health and servitude, you'll probably be more so focused on during this time and achieving things in this realm. Um, well, it still stands true because that's what we've been doing lately anyway. And then we focus on our pinnacles after a while. Then after a while, we will be focusing on our pinnacles because Virgo is all about the pinnacles, our earth sign. So then, last but not least, we have our ascendant. And our ascendant is our physical, our general temperament. Hold on a second, Miles. Our ascendant is currently in Scorpio in retrograde in the third house. It entered Scorpio on May 9th, and the retrograde stopped May 10th. So like how the ascendant seems to work, it's like 5 days in retrograde, like 3 days out, 5 days in, 3 days out, 7 days in. So it's constantly going back and forth. The ascendant kind of does what it wants to do. But it's in it's in Scorpio right now while it's doing it. So you'll find like a lot of energy being directed towards secrets and power and rebirth and transformation. It enters, right now with it in the third house, this is directed towards your local community and your communication with people that are more so intimate in your intimate circles. And then when the ascendant enters the fourth house, you see like a lot of transformation happening with your home and your family, and that's happening on June 4th. And it's also happening with your like close relationships. So you have your community happening first, again going outward, learning things outward, and then coming home saying, hey y'all, I learned some things. And then the ascendant enter Sagittarius season in the fourth house on June 17th, and it will also be in retrograde when this happens. And that's when you'll be dealing with your home and family and bringing in new reasoning and a sense of cheerfulness and chivalry in your family. So like it's a lot of, hold on a second, it's a lot of going out into the world, gaining different points of view, breaking different things that were holding you back, different like restrictions you've been holding for yourself and stuff like that, and learning different things, diversifying how you learn. Like that's how you're going to reach success during this time right now, is just changing what you know, breaking down what you know, and realizing that you should have multiple things going on for you in multiple directions, because that is abundance. You definitely want to be mindful of some illusions that may come your way, because with you gaining all this information, it does leave room for certain kind of scammers or people that like to lurk in the shadows, because we know the brightest lights create the darkest shadows, and honestly some of the biggest shadows. And as your light gets brighter, there's going to be more room for people to lurk in the shadows. So you definitely want to be mindful of those illusions with that Neptune energy, because I definitely have a feeling that that's coming, because there's so much abundance right now. Of course there's like some type of energy wanting to hone in on it and take power and control, but we're becoming so like intellectually and spiritually ready for that. Like I have faith that like when that comes, like we'll be ready. Like during this time we're definitely like broadening horizons, and that's just the reality that I've attracted. The people that I'm around, everybody's reality is different. But yeah, hold on a second, I'm really excited about that. I just want to close this because my child's getting restless now. He's giving me enough time. So that's it for the Gemini season. That's what the planets are doing. That's what Gemini season is about. I hope you guys enjoyed me doing it live. I hope this lasts like half hour or so recorded, because I can no longer see myself, so I don't know what's happening. But I was scared to like exit out because I didn't want to like ruin my whole video and then I have to do this again. But anyway, So y'all take care, be safe. If you want a natal chart reading, I do personal natal chart readings. What happens is, I'm actually gonna put that up on my shop on my website. That way you can just go on my website and purchase it. But with that, what I do is I'll ask you for your natal chart information, of course, your birth date, time, place, and then I get the information and I just interpret your chart in layman's terms, and then I create a video where I'm giving you a tarot reading to go along with each planet in their placement. So that's what I do. I could definitely do that for you and give you a little bit of insight on what the current transiting planets are doing to your natal chart a little bit as well. And that's basically it. So like, I hope y'all enjoy. Have a good evening. Enjoy this weather. Definitely about to go sit on the porch and stuff.